I'm going to try and do some chainsaw work today. Kind of a crummy day outside, but yeah, I can probably sneak in an hour of chainsawing. So if you're watching some of the last videos, I was having some issues with this getting through some logs, and I'm pretty certain it's just because I have an old dull chain. Well, really, actually, it's not dull. I've been sharpening it, but I think after years of use, I've just sharpened it too many times. The well has run dry. So I don't think there's any way for this camera to focus on here, but you can pretty much see the size difference in these two heads here. Yeah, it's not going to be able to focus. But I think what was happening is, although the little tooth here was sharp, this, I don't know what it's called, a rake or something, pretty much if that part stays the same height while you sharpen this and it gets smaller and smaller, it effectively lowers the cutting edge and almost puts it at the same level or below this little rake right here. So pretty much what will happen, and what I was noticing, is that when I would go sideways on a tree, I just wasn't getting any cutting power, but when I would go down on it, it would eat. I mean, it would really do a good job cutting. So that told me they were sharp, and the downward pressure was enough to cut. But once I go sideways and I don't have that downward force, it was just wasn't it wasn't cutting it. So I'm gonna put this new chain on. I also happen to have a new bar. I didn't purchase this specifically, and I don't even know that it necessarily needs it. I think I found this at a house I moved into. Someone left it behind, and it's a brand new Oregon bar. That's an Oregon chain, and I currently have the old Echo bar on there, which has certainly seen a lot of pinches inside of trees and a lot of work. So I'm gonna pop this thing on here, and well, it'll probably work until I run out of light. Okay, there's my burn pile, and I'm down here in the pond area that I've been clearing out. That was kind of the area I cleared up last time. You can see there's two big trees laying down in there, and there's the water that I've talked so much about. I'm going to work in here. I'm just going to start working my way around the edge of the pond, and hopefully I won't get rained on. It wasn't supposed to rain. There's my wood chip pile, just to give you an idea of kind of where I'm at. The house is there, garden is over there, and yeah, it wasn't supposed to rain, but it's getting cold and kind of unpleasant out here, so I'm not gonna do it for too long, but just enough to get a nice little workout in. So here we go. I'm pretty sure I knocked the camera when I was pulling debris, but I've added more there. I have some little smaller piles that I'm kind of building because I don't want to burn all of it in one huge, massive bonfire. As much fun as that would be, the county sheriff often drives by, and the last thing I need is to get fined for having too big of a burn. So, I uncovered this log. So I got to chop this guy up, and then I'm going to drop this tree. I might drop this tree first, though. I am running out of daylight, so I'm trying to, I guess I'm trying to do this as safely as I can. I do have all my gear on, you know, look at me glowing in the dark. Okay, so I think I'm going to take this guy on. Oh, the new blade, the new chain that is, absolutely rips. Man, it's like night and day. For $12 for a new chain on that thing, I think I'm gonna do that every year. You know, I'll sharpen it a little bit every year, but yeah, no, it's ripping. So yeah, let's take this guy down. Yeah, that new chain is boss. Yeah, that is some old dead wood, and it's really not even that rotten, but it just chewed through it. Nice. Alright, I've made a thorough mess of things. I got everything kind of chopped up, but it is starting to rain a little bit, and my little camera is getting kind of wet. So, I'm just gonna kind of keep working here, and maybe I'll be able to check in again before it gets too dark. Okay, wow, it just started thundering, and I'm pretty sure I saw lightning. So I probably shouldn't be running around out here with a chainsaw and a tripod. So I'm gonna go in. Well, yeah, it's definitely thundering. Now that I have my ear protection off, I can hear it. It probably should have been a sign when I was down there with the hearing protection on, and I like heard and felt rumbling, and I was like, it's just a big truck going by, and I'd look up and there'd be no cars or trucks or anyone nearby. So yeah. Okay, well, oh, there's a little bit of lightning. So I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to keep working on this as much as I can. The garden is done for the fall. I'm very happy about that. I'm like totally on top of the garden for the first time maybe ever, which isn't that long. I've only been gardening for like 5 years. But I had to adjust the tarps. I did have to do that. They kind of blew around, but work in progress. So that's kind of it for now. I'm really holding off doing too much here in the garage, just because I know I have all freaking winter and it's gonna be cold. I'm thinking about whether I want to do a heat solution in here. I have a 220 hookup on the wall there. I was thinking a big electric fan, because although I do have natural gas in there, I don't really want to deal with running a vent anywhere. I mean, mainly once you get into the natural gas vented realm, it's several $1,000s. Versus a pretty nice heater is a couple hundred. There are vent-free natural gas heaters, which I was almost about to go with. But then I was just sort of reading about how those put a lot of moisture into the air. And I don't want moisture in here in the winter, because that's the exact problem I was fighting last year. I've since insulated this side, and the whole new side is insulated, but yeah, so I don't want to dump a bunch of moisture in here and then have it surface rust on various tools and things. So still kind of thinking about it, and once I kind of go down all these paths, I generally just end up saying I'll just wear a jacket, which I probably will, at least for this year. So anyway, definitely more garage projects coming, because I need to get this space ready to go. So, okay, that's it for now. I'm going in. Good night. Hello, back at it again. It's the next day. Shortly after I turned off the camera and started cleaning up and going inside, I put everything away, and I was like, I'm just going to go back out there and grab a few more, pull a few more sticks out of the woods until it gets way too dark. As soon as I walk out, I'm like halfway here, a huge crack of lightning goes across the sky, and it just downpours, and it poured rain for several hours. It's actually still quite moist back here where I was working, but I'm back today. Hi. I'm gonna just keep working my way around this pond. It's all just overgrown here, and if I can cut back all this woody stuff around the edge, eventually I'll be able to maintain this area, at least this upper area here where I'm kind of standing and where this stuff is. I'll be able to maintain this with the tractor whenever I get a rotary mower or brush hog for the back. I'll be able to keep this trimmed up. But down in here, I mean, this is just, there's too steep of a drop off. It's probably 3 to 4 feet lower, maybe even up to 5 feet down at the lowest point from where I'm standing. So I'll never be able to bring the tractor down there, not to mention it would certainly get stuck. But if I can get rid of the woody material, I can consider like maybe once a year just renting a one of those like Home Depot walk behind brush hogs, and then maybe just do this manually. But anyway, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Today I'm just gonna keep clearing room here. One cool thing that happened is yesterday I noticed a very large bird up in a tree right where that yellow tree is on the side of our property, and I started looking at it more closely today. I put the zoom lens on my camera, and it turns out it was an eagle. So we've had an eagle hanging out here for the past 2 days, but that's because there's a dead deer carcass on the side of the road over there. It's pretty gross. So this eagle's been snacking on this deer, or trying to anyway. But I'll show a picture of it on the screen here somewhere. So I might have to go clean up a deer carcass, is I guess where that story is headed, because I don't think that the city's going to do it. So anyway, it was pretty cool seeing an eagle hang around here. I've seen a few live, but never one that big, and never on my own property, that's for sure. So anywho, I'm going to get to work here and kind of show you some before and after stuff. Alright, here's the before. Alright, well, I've made a bigger mess, that much is certain. Let's see, this is some gnarly stuff back in here. A lot of these trees that just kind of grow these weird root balls down into the ground, and it's a good way to dull my nice sharp new blade, so that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I cut a tree down here that's just so tangled. I mean, this is taller than me. Like, this is just 7 or 8 feet of bramble. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to try to pull my tractor up around here, throw a strap down in here, and try to rip out this thing I just cut down. So I'm going to go do that before I run out of light. Well, that went just swimmingly. That was pretty cool. I've never used my toe straps before. Okay, well, I'm losing light here, so I think I've cleared what I can for today. Oh boy. And I think I'm going to be burning this Saturday. Have a nice bonfire if we can. So right now, I've got to go do some dirty work about a deer. Alright, well, the vision continues to build. Someday this will be a beautiful pond in a park-like setting. But until then, it's going to be a heck of a lot of work. So, more to come with the pond restoration. I hope you'll join me. I hope you enjoy these vloggy videos. But even if you don't, I'm still having a good time. So I'll see you on the next one. Later! Hello, it's a happy Saturday for me. It's a little breezy today, but I'm going to light that pile and pull all the debris that I created earlier this week into it and have a nice bonfire. It's pretty cold, it's like 40 degrees, but this fire will certainly keep me warm. I lit it from the back side because it's so windy. I don't want it to take off on me too much, so it'll be slow going to get it started, but I gotta get the hose ready anyway. Okay, well, Operation Burn Some Stuff was pretty much a failure. That pile's just too wet and it's too windy out today, so I could not get it lit. I used like half a tank of propane on my little flame weeder, and it wasn't lighting, so it'll probably have to be a burn for the spring or maybe middle winter. But I've been productive. I cut a few stumps. There's a stump over there I chopped down, and stump over here I chopped down. Well, I got rid of it. So now I'm just kind of continuing, now that the weather's kind of improved, I'm still just chopping stuff in here. And I'm going to use the tractor to pull a tree I just trimmed up out of there, so it should be entertaining to watch. Well, that's that. Yeah, that pile's pretty much gone out now, but I'm still being productive. Those two big trees were just so tangled up in vines that I couldn't darn near move them. But yeah, we're making progress. Look how big this tree is in here. And this is, yeah, and it forks out in the middle there, so I think eventually, I don't even know if I can cut this. I might just have to cut around it and turn it into a bench. Okay, well, I'm going to keep working, and I don't know, might run out of light, but if anything cool happens, bring you along. Okie doke. Well, I created myself another brush pile to eventually haul over to that pile, but I think I'm done for tonight. I ran out of gas. Well, both myself personally and with the chainsaw. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this pile. It doesn't seem to want to light, so it's pretty fresh wood. I'll just have it sit for a while, and I don't know, maybe I'll burn it when there's snow on the ground, or maybe it'll wait till the spring. But anyway, for now, I am calling it a day, and I'm going to put this bad bear away, and maybe do some more tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. Depends on the weather and how I feel. Thanks for joining me. See you on the next one. Well, there goes fall, here comes winter. This is Friday, November 9th, and it is snowing. It's probably already an inch on the ground, maybe more. Wow. Pumpkin's got a little bit of snow on them. I did have to run over to the garden and throw a bunch of logs on my tarps. They definitely were blowing. We were getting like 40-mile-an-hour winds earlier this week, and they were just flapping everywhere. Luckily, the cinder blocks I used in the middle kept everything everything in place, so I just had to kind of rearrange stuff. But after like the third or fourth time of having to run out there and rearrange my bricks and do all sorts of work, I decided to just get a bunch of logs, and that seemed to help. I don't think this snow is going to stick around. It's the first snow of the year, and you know, it's going to be like 38 today, so it'll probably end up melting, so I hope I won't have to plow it, which is good because my plow isn't really ready. It's not on the tractor, first of all, which isn't a big deal. I can solve that quickly. But I have to put a rubber edge on it because last year I just kept the metal edge and it tore up my driveway. So my plan this weekend is to get into that project. I'm going to go to Tractor Supply, get a horse mat, cut off the bottom rubber edge of it, and hopefully somehow affix that to the plow, and we'll be ready to plow. So that's the goal for this weekend. I haven't made much progress on anything else this week because I've been in training for work. Always exciting, but yeah, this is today. A couple inches of snow. Hopefully it won't stick around. And there's my burn pile. Maybe that'll be a middle of winter burn. We'll see. Oh, good times. At least it's not terribly cold yet. It's like 32 right now, so it's not frigid. Right, Mr. Pumpkin? Alright, well, thanks for joining me. I'll see you on my next project. Later.